Welcome back to Beach Chair Chats. My name is Brian Kaiser here today on a balmy, for New England standards, April day here in April. I have a great guest as well who's also enjoying this humidity that we call in the Northeast. Betsy Vereckey, how are you doing, Betsy?
I'm great. How are you? Thanks for having me.
I'm doing well. It's April. Is today tax day? Oh,
Yes, I filed mine like 2 weeks ago. It might be the earliest I ever have filed them.
that's
So,
impressive. I did mine Sunday, so it's done as much as I would, it's just done. It's just a thing. It's a process. I even had to help my son do his. Yeah, so I feel like an accountant part time. So, but tax day, it's finished. We don't have to worry about that anymore. But you are an author. Talk about some of the stuff you've been writing. You're moving to my dog's hometown. Talk about that book.
so I have been a journalist. I've been a writer pretty much all my life. And about 10 years ago, nearly 10 years ago, I left the corporate job in New York City. I got divorced.
Mm-hmm.
I um I basically blew up my life and I moved to Hanover, New Hampshire, a town that I knew nothing about, only that it was where my now ex-husband and I adopted our dog, Ronan.
Cool
And
name.
he was the best dog ever. And yeah, I we adopted him. Ronan is no longer with us, but
Mm.
he was this type of dog called a Glen of a Mall Terrier, which is the cutest dog you've never heard of. And I ended up moving in. I ended up moving into the breeder's house. This quirky couple who breeds these dogs. So that probably tells you where I was at in my life.
Yes.
Um, and I basically lived in the downstairs of her house. She and I became friends for a lot of different reasons, but one of them, which was kind of funny, was that she was a divorce lawyer.
Mm.
Um, and I thought I would be here for like 6 months, and I am still here. I actually live in a different town. I live in Vermont, 10 minutes away. Um, yeah, I was working on this book for a while. It was just really I just really was curious in figuring out why and how this really random decision ended up working out when all the other more traditional or mainstream things did not work. Yeah, and the book came out in January, so I've just been, doing some podcasts and talking about it a lot. So that's kind of what I've been doing. But I'm still a journalist. It's actually weird to be on the other end taking
Hmm.
questions because I'm usually the one asking them.
Well, these
Um,
are rapid fire questions here. This is like I'm not coming at you like here's, put you in a hot seat here. All right. So
yeah. Well, this
broadcaster,
is
well,
me. This is
broadcast
yeah.
journalism was my second major in college. So
Oh, okay.
I was told I had a face for radio. I don't find it funny now because it's like, oh, cool, I'll be a DJ at radio. It's like that's not a compliment. So I heard.
You actually have a very good radio
I
voice.
appreciate
So,
that.
I listened to you on Spotify and I was like, good radio voice.
Well, I should have stayed with the, broadcast concept. So I don't know. Maybe those will turn to a great side hustle that actually works. I don't know. We'll see if it happens. But, broadcast journalism, but telling stories. I think that's the whole point. So you have a story. You went through, like you said, you blew up your life, as you call it.
Yeah.
But it sounds like I think you might have come out the other end. Are you doing well now?
Yeah, like things are good. I like ended up getting married a couple years ago.
Congrats.
Like I met somebody and like settled down here and my friends, the dog breeders, Susan and Jake, they are still here also. Like we go out to dinner every Wednesday. Um, yeah, like I'm still here and I'm loving it. I mean, of course, I complain about it because, you just do. Like, I think
Mhm.
I saw someone this morning and we were talking about the ticks because the ticks are
Oh,
out now.
yes. The takes are coming.
Um, but I love it. Like, I love the
Mm.
seasons. I don't know if you know King Arthur Bakery or if you're a baker, but
Well, I do
I'm
like
like,
baked goods. Baking things, that's a different story.
yeah, so you're
But I
like me. You
do,
like
I eat, I'm
you
a
like eating
consumer.
them.
Yes, I'm a consumer of the baked goods, not quite that much of the producer of them. So I don't know. Is it King Arthur? I think, is that like, is it a flower? King Arthur?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, King Arthur flour.
I know that
So they're
because I know that when I make pizza, and that's the
yep.
flour that I use to make pizza. So yes.
Yeah, so they are like right down the street and they have this awesome cafe and I go there to write. Um yeah, I'm in a writing group. And it's like, it's a small town. So like I always end up seeing people at King Arthur from my writing group. But it's a quiet life, but I really like it. I sometimes will go back to New York City and I have no idea how the hell I lived there for 11 years.
It's a lifestyle that I think when you do it, I'm just not going to sound like an insult by anything, but like when you're younger, right? And you just have the world in front of you
Oh, 100%.
when you don't have like a lot of obligations and you can just absorb the lifestyle. I could not do that. I'd be like, I can't handle this. This is why the beach chair chat thing came about because I'd rather be there than be in the concrete, busy noise. It's just too much. I'll
Right.
either get
This is not Times Square chats.
no, it would be have like if I my background noise is the waves, it'd be a lot of cars and people swearing and just have to add to the effect. Times Square chats, people just all over the place. So
That's right.
you're in a writing group now. So are you working on anything new coming up?
I'm working on another memoir. I know that doesn't really sound like I'm selling it, but it's not as straightforward. It's not coming to me creatively as straightforward as my last book, which was where here's this thing that happened and I like knew the story and it kind of had a very particular ending. Um, but it's a story about I really have to figure out how to start talking about this. Um, it's a story about the joy in the things that don't work out. It's a little bit like my last book in that I don't know how your life has worked out, but I have my life has been full of curveballs, and the things that I thought were going to happen for me didn't.
Hmm.
And there's some of that in my first book, but the second book is really kind of like, well, what do you do? What do you do when you don't get the things that you want? And I'll just be frank. A, a big piece of the book is that my husband and I were trying to have a baby and we couldn't. Um, so it was just like, well, how do you fill that void, or
Hmm.
how do you fill your life when the thing you thought was going to happen didn't? Um, and so it's a little bit of an exploration of that because I'm sitting here telling you about these things that I wanted that I didn't get, and yet I am happy.
Hmm.
So, that's pretty much what it's about. And it's because I didn't get that thing, there were these other routes that I took in my life. Like one of the things I do is there's a really good wildlife center near my house. And so I volunteer there one day a week, working with injured owls and hawks and other birds of the sky. And in the summer, we feed baby songbirds
Okay.
where people they fall out of. I mean, this is Vermont. It's like
Well, it's
it
nature's.
happens like all the time. So yeah, so that's kind of what it's about. I really need to think of a more straightforward way to talk about it. Um, I it's actually been teaching me a lot. My process is changing. I never used to be a hand writer
Mhm.
in journals. I mean, a little bit, but I had never tried to write a book that way. But that's one thing I've been doing. And I actually can't imagine not doing it that way going forward. So yeah, there's just have some been some creative changes for me, which is interesting because I'm going to be 46, and you think by 46,
Hey,
like,
great age.
are you 46 as
I am
well?
40. I will be 47. I'm ahead of you just a
Okay.
bit. It's a great age. I will say that. 46. 40s are awesome. People say, no, they're not. I disagree. Tell me when I'm
It's,
50.
I mean, my early 40s were not great because of all the
I was,
said kids stuff. And wow,
yes,
what a weird time to like be trying to have a baby because, I'm like considered ancient in fertility land.
that's what they say, yes, but it's possible. But yes.
Um, but yeah, no, I can't believe I'm going to be 46.
Well,
So
happy, well, I don't know when your birthday is, but happy early birthday when that happens.
it's the end of May and happy early birthday to you too.
I know, celebrate those while you can. Well, I think your story is interesting. It reminds me of a movie. Okay, I love movies. It was a movie with George Clooney called Up in the Air. Right?
Oh, I
He
love
was
that movie.
great. So you know I got a reference. Okay, there's a scene in the he was in the airport and he's traveling around and he has this love interest who's like she was like I think she's a flight attendant, I believe. And I remember he had this younger person working for him, and she had just gone through this breakup, and she was just devastated because she had this picture of what her life was supposed to be. The white
Yeah,
picket fence, the house, the dog, all the things laid out. And that she was just blowing up by this because she thought her world was ending. And I remember the line from George Clooney. I just can't think of the actress's name. It's gonna come to me later, and it's like the biggest thing is just to be happy, to laugh with someone, the simplistic things of life. As you get older, it was a perfect scene because when you're young, you want this, right? You had these things in front of you. It's like, I want these things. I want to have the child. I want to have maybe the great home and all the things in front of you, but it just, life does throw you curveballs. And sometimes it's too many. Sometimes it's just the one you think it, I call it the high sinking curveball. You think it's coming right at you, you freeze, and boom, it strike out. Right? It's life is crazy beautiful like that in a way because you just don't know what to expect.
totally.
Like I tell my students who go, if you're given the book of life the day you're born, and you're flipping through chapter by chapter, and here we are, April 15th of 2026, and you knew you're having this podcast today, it may not even be that exciting. Like, oh, okay, I know what I'm doing. This is going to happen in another hour. It would be life would be boring, even though sometimes it
Right.
could be stressful. And so I think it's a great memoir that you're writing for yourself. It's more about a reflect, just for you to be self-reflective in it too, of what you've gone through to find out that you are happy, even though things
Mhm.
didn't work out. You're at a place right now that you're at peace and you're happy in a great relationship. You got your dogs. You're a birder, which you're doing lots of bird watching, and you're involved in the things, and you just seem to be happy. Now, I didn't know you before. I'm just going off of today. And would you say you are at that level of happiness?
Yeah, I totally am. And I think that was actually the worst part, I think, of coming out of my divorce 10 years ago was because like I didn't know what would make me happy.
Mm-hmm.
Um and that was really, really hard. So if you don't know like the things that make you happy, you can't even figure out what direction to go into.
Mm-hmm.
Um and I've been thinking lately, this is going to sound like, I mean, like so trite, but I think it's more. I actually had a conversation with a friend about this recently. And she was trying to have a second child, and she only has one. And she kind of had to like kind of come to an acceptance with that. Um, and I think part of it is just finding the gratitude for what you have.
Mm-hmm.
Which I know it just sounds so trite, but it's just like if you can do that and like appreciate appreciate what your circumstances are bringing you. So if you don't have children, maybe you have more time to write
Mm-hmm.
that second book or um, you know, um And I think also like slowing down, I mean, to go along with your show, like
Hmm.
slowing down, oh my God, it just, I mean, even speaking from the perspective of a birder, like you can't spot an owl in a tree if you're doing 50 and a
Hmm.
25. Um, so like you kind of have to move at a slower pace so you can like reflect on um those things and be grateful for what you have. I swear the best part of my day is like getting into bed at night with like my husband and those dogs. And that
Hmm.
just sounds so simple, but that is it's like where I'm most happy, just like feeling the weight
Yeah.
of a dog on my leg.
Well, it is the simplistic things, like you said, we get caught up in the busy of life. And I think even the idea of comparison to New York City and Vermont, right? Two vastly different speeds. And we miss so much when they're going, going, going. They're so busy with things. Even the idea of like seeing a bird, when I've gotten back into running recently and I've decided to go without music, which is what I used to do. No music, so I can just be kind of in it. And I've been doing that again. So I was out running this morning. It's like all these birds are in this one little kind of a swamp bog area a little bit. It's just loud and it's like cool. They're cheering me on. This is awesome. And then I was like running down this more, but you see it all, you take it all in. And even birds itself, I would admit it. I'm also an avid birder. I think they say this what happens to men when they get in their 40s, they become bird fans. It's a stereotype to scream. I don't know what it is, but we do. I've got the bird camera thing, bird feeder.
Oh, I
I've
love
e-
it.
I've even got the Cornell bird app from
Oh,
ornithology.
same.
I did tell a
Same.
story to someone about I was in my yard once and I was going through the songs and I didn't know what the songs meant, like what kind of reaction would happen. And there's these like nuthatches, they call them, and they go up and down. And it's like I play this song before I know it, the thing's like dive bombing me. I'm like, what the heck? What am I doing? What am I communicating to this bird right now that he wants to come at me? Carolina wrens, also the same thing. They're also vicious like that. So just don't play music that's going to cause them to react. But the good thing is, like I said, slowing down. That was another podcast. He hasn't come out yet. And he talked about the same thing as he's gotten older. The things that he would have missed when he was younger, he sees now, right? And it sounds
Mhm.
like you're at that point where you see stuff that you may have missed or been too busy for to actually have that kind of peace of mind. Right?
Absolutely. Like when I lived in New York City, I just remember like always going to the next thing, like rushing to work or rushing to a bar or
Mhm.
rushing somewhere. Like there really just was no slowing down.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's a good thing. And well, let me ask you this: is kind of you also says here on your thing, just to kind of turn it a little bit, you are the daughter of a Hungarian immigrant.
mhm. Yeah.
Let me ask
Actually,
you.
he that's yeah, my dad actually is he's popped into my second book. So I didn't want to cut off your question, but
No, I was just going to make a comment. So, kudos to Hungary for what they did recently. I just want to say that out
oh yeah, yeah, no, we're
there.
famous now.
Yes,
So
yes, it's they're famous. Yes, hopefully America
yeah,
can be the
no,
same
I
way.
yeah,
Yeah.
shout out to my people. So
Yes, so hopefully we
good
can
job,
replicate
guys.
replicate that in the U.S. Um,
Mhm.
not to make this political, I keep telling myself never to do that because they just never know who I'm interviewing. But I'm assuming you're with me on
I
it.
mean, it was pretty amazing.
It
So,
was,
and I'm also at the point where like, we have people who are criticizing the Pope. So,
yeah, that is.
that's pretty much like,
We are at that point in life. I have no idea how did we got there, but that's why the beach is way better. I'd rather sit there and forget about things and not check the news and be. So let me ask you this: you're a journalist. That's your background. Even when you see journalists kind of spin it a little bit on the present day of news and the things that journalists go through, do you sometimes watch, not to go that route, but when you see journalists like have to like take not criticism sometimes, it's more like beratement to keep doing the job. What do you feel for those journalists when you see them?
I can't, well, first of all, I have to limit my news consumption.
Hmm.
My husband and I are very different. Like we're both Geminis.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and he can't get enough. Like
Mm-hmm.
like from dawn until dusk, and he will lean over. Actually, the whole Pope thing, he leaned over. It was like like right before I was gonna close my eyes, like 10 o'clock, and was like, "Oh my God, this you're never gonna believe what they said about the Pope." And I was like, "I can't. Like I'm trying to go to bed, and now I'm all
Just I don't want it now, please.
yeah." Um, I don't know how they do it. I just don't know what a hard job it would be to be a journalist. I mean, I'm still a journalist, but it's a little more beach chair chatty because
Yes,
I
best
do it
way.
on my own time and I'm not in a newsroom, although I do miss the newsroom. Um, it really stopped. I mean, for me, I left journalism because it really stopped being journalism. Like it was more about okay, like how many stories can we get out? Like I could never leave. I was like there was not even enough time to like leave my desk. Like it wasn't what I signed up for. And actually, I one of the things I did when I moved up here was that I started freelancing for a couple local really small papers. And boy, was that fun.
Hmm.
I mean, I didn't do it for the money, but I did get paid. But it was the journalism that I had actually always wanted to do. I mean, kind of, I think you'll relate to this, but just like talking to people
Yep.
and like going out there and like I met like beekeepers and like priests and um just so much out in the world. So yeah. I think I don't even I hope your child is not majoring in journalism.
Well,
Um,
my child, I don't know what he's doing. He's my child is 20, gonna be 21, and still figuring this thing out with him. But yeah, journalism, no, not in his wheelhouse to talk to people and just have that kind of style. But it's a hard field, and yeah, parenting, I know obviously it wasn't in the cards for you, but you still, even if you, it's a tough spot too, even for mothers or mothers who wanted to be mothers, the capacity to give back, even if they can't be a mom specifically, but to give that kind of care to other people because you have that instinct to do it. And I think, by doing some of these things, helping out in your community, being present is another way of doing that. It's not the same, but it is, in a way. Because as human beings, we are gifted with that ability to care for people, whether they're actual family or just their neighbors or whoever it would be. And so I think by doing that, it's an important instinctual thing. But yeah, being a parent, I think I posted today. It's like they said it'd be fun to have kids. Like, sure, it'd be great, have them. I know what I posted because my son did something kind of just astronomically dumb. And like, why did you do this thing? And it's fine. It all worked out. But I will say this from my gender. It takes us a minute to develop our frontal cortexes effectively. And it's even past 20s, heck, even some of us in our 40s just can't seem to get it. Um, but yeah, it's comes with its challenges too as well. But it's turn a new page with him. But yeah.
yeah, well, before you know it, he'll be moving away. So,
Well, at least you didn't say he might have his own kids. Like, don't go there because
oh
see,
no, I believe that was not even, I wasn't even going there.
I even freak out when I say that. Like, why? No, he's not. No, I say I'm getting more grays than I have in a long time, and I have a thinning
Join the
spot on
club.
the back of my hair. And I said I'm going to put a tattoo of his name there. So they say, "What happened to your hair?" It's like, well, the name is right there. So therefore, what happened. So, but outside of all these things, you do these great things. I like to ask some fun questions. Your morning routine. Do you have a routine that you do every morning when you get up, besides coffee and those types of things? If you're a coffee
Oh
person.
yeah. Yeah, I do morning pages. Do you know what morning pages are?
Mm.
So, It's basically just they came out of this book by Julia Cameron, and it's called The Artist's Way. And that's all of a very fancy way of saying that I write 3 pages in a journal every morning. And it's akin to like the windshield wipers cleaning off the windshield. Um, and it's more just like there's no pressure to be like eloquent. It's
Mm.
more like, okay, what am I doing today? What did I do yesterday? Um, and it's funny, like by the third page, some like decent stuff comes out that like maybe I'll end up using. And I started doing this actually when I was in New York and going through my divorce. And I am a creature of habit. Like it can be a little hard for me to change to like start doing something different, but when I do it and it's working for me, like I'm just like I'm in it forever. And I've been doing morning pages like ever since for almost 10 years.
Well,
Um,
it sounds like a wonderful routine too as well. And you keep doing that stuff. Just keep the routine habits of things you love doing. And it's that. Now I want to ask you some questions. Well, I've been asking you questions this entire time. You sent me some pictures of beaches. Do you want to talk about a little about those beach
Oh God.
photos?
Cape Cod. Cape Cod is my happy
It's
place.
a great place.
I've been going there like ever since I moved to New England. And I guess one of my happy places is Truro.
Outer Cape.
Um, and yeah, my husband and I started running an Airbnb there, and oh my God, this place is amazing. It's just this old beach house that was part of the original like Cape Cod National Seashore.
Mm-hmm.
And it is like one bad storm from being washed
Wiped out,
away.
yes.
And it's so funny because it's surrounded by like all of these ginormous $1 million beach houses. And it's this cute little house tucked in a dune.
Hmm.
And we love this place so much. And actually, we love it so much that we named our latest dog Truro.
Okay. Very cool.
Um,
Do you watch all the seals when you go out there too? When you see all the sharks potentially,
yep.
it's.
Yeah. If you see a seal, there's probably a shark nearby.
Hmm. Well, how about this? You ever go to Mayflower Beach for the best sunset?
No.
No? You've never been to Mayflower Beach?
Mm,
Okay, so if you're going back to the Cape, if it's your favorite place, I recommend it. It's in
okay. I'm writing it down.
Dennisport area, right in the middle, mid Cape. Because Dennisport's
Okay.
kind of like where all the little beach communities where most of the families go, and they have all these like tiny beach places. But it's Bayside, so it's not on the outer Cape, and it's like the softest sand you'll ever feel, like pillows. I mean, the outer Cape's great, but you can walk out in the water because there's no surf and no heavy waves, but people just camp out there all day with food and just everything, and you can go out for miles, but the sunset's like one of the best you'll see. So it's the inner mid Cape, Dennis, Mayflower Beach is the place to go.
Okay.
But you got to get
I
there early for parking. It's tough, but yeah, bring a bottle of wine, get a pizza, whatever it is. I don't know if whatever you want to do, vegetables, things like that. Just bring it and just sit in the beach chair and chill out. It's a great place. Highly recommend.
awesome.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, the beach near the place is called Ballston Beach.
Hmm.
It's also great because for whatever reason it's not super busy.
Yeah.
And we've gone there like 4th of July. We've gone there in September, and yeah, so
Well, I like Nauset Light because I was joking at Nauset Light. I was there last year and I said, it'd be funny if someone took a bag of chips and held it up in front of it to take a picture with the same bag of Cape Cod chips, right? And sure enough, I went around a corner. Guess what I saw? Two people taking it, they're holding up a chip bag in front. I go, why did you have to prove my joke right? That someone
that's
actually took a picture of the chip bag in front of the lighthouse. But to
that's
each
so
their own.
funny.
To each their own. I let them go because it's a great place. But Betsy, it's been wonderful having you on today.
Thanks for having me. Thank
And
you. This was really fun. It was nice to slow down in the middle of a busy Wednesday.
for me, it's like a nice little break in the middle of my actual workday to do this. And it's a great time to slow down too. And I hope it doesn't rain too bad up there and you can get outside soon and enjoy some sunlight.
Thank you.